Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Journey into Real Estate interview. And today we have with us Wendi Tomota, who is a rock star on our team and number one advocate for new first-time home buyers and first responders, especially because she's married to one. So, Wendi, welcome. How are you doing?
Hi, Dylan. Good. I'm doing good. How are you?
Uh, Good. So the way these start is we go back to the beginning, and you have to tell us about where you're from, kind of where you grew up, school, stuff like that, so we know how it all started.
Oh, storytelling time. Okay. I am born and raised here in Kona. I graduated from Kealakekee High School. Um, After high school, I did move to, of course, the Ninth Island. I moved to Vegas to go to UNLV. And I was there. I did one semester at UNLV and I was like, this is not for me. I don't want to do college. It was fun though. It was a great experience. 18 years old, having no clue why am I even in Vegas. I just, followed everyone else. Like, oh, I thought that's what you're supposed to do. So that's what I did. um, so I did one semester at UNLV, and then I ended up. I didn't want to come home because it was too short of a time frame. So I was like, what else? What else can I do up here? So I decided to get into the beauty industry, and there in Vegas, I went to school for esthetician work, obtained my license in Nevada for esthetician, which is facials and waxing.
I was gonna ask what the heck is that?
So I feel like back then it was a thing, but nowadays it's like a thing, like self-care, get your facials, eyes, makeup, like, the beauty industry.
Hmm.
So I was 18, so I got my license up there, and then actually no, backtrack one. I went to massage school first.
Okay.
Went to massage school because I was like, oh, trade school. I don't know, I forget what the hours were required in Vegas. Um, and what were required in Hawaii, like it would match up because I knew at some point I would come back home. So did massage school, passed that, and then after that I was like, oh, what else can I do? What else goes hand in hand like in that industry? So I was like, oh, esthetician work, facials and waxing. So I ended up going to Euphoria Beauty School, and it was a brand new school in the area that I was living. So just amazing school. Did I didn't get licensed for massage up there, but I did get licensed for esthetician. Was working up there and just kind of doing that. So I stayed in Vegas for maybe like 2.5, 3 years, and then I was like, okay, I'm done with this life. I experienced. I get it. Don't want to live here anymore. Came home, got licensed here in Hawaii with my esthetician and my massage license. Didn't do much with the massage license, but I did do more of the esthetician stuff. I worked at, of course, came back and worked at the hotels, worked in spas, but I didn't do esthetician work until I worked at Hilton in their spa for like 2 years, just kind of casual on call type of thing. Did that and then went on my own, worked in another salon where it was like I was my own boss, made my own schedule, had to hustle my own clients. I did that.
And so how long did that go on for?
Probably that took me up until 2009, 10,
Okay.
2009, I want to say, probably.
Okay.
And
And then
then,
what? Because when did you actually get licensed in real estate? It was later, way later on, right?
yes.
Okay. So what happened in between?
Yep. So in between, I met my husband, had
Okay.
kids. And so in between 2011, I had my first daughter. And then I was a stay at home mother from 2011 to 2018. So I was strictly at home raising these girls, my girls, our kids.
Okay.
Was not what I expected. I mean, it's hard work. I would go to a job any day, but I enjoyed it and I was just happy that I was able to stay at home with them because that is what I wanted. But that is no walk in the park. And I feel for every stay at home mom, it's not easy. And I get it. I don't forget. I remember exactly how it feels.
No, but those are such important years to do that. They're lucky that they had you, and you're able to do that.
Yes. And, I was able to do it because, so Aaron, who is my schedules are pretty crazy. So I needed to be with them.
So after like what doing that for 7-8 years, what made you decide, okay, now I'm gonna go back and go? I mean, girls are older now; they're in school. You have time. Like, what made you choose real estate?
Interesting. I had no clue exactly what real estate was. I mean, I knew what it was, but like I had no interest in it. And it was one of my friends from the gym who she was a real estate agent also. She told me, she's like, hey, you should think about doing real estate, because I was at the point where like the kids were both going to be in school. And I was like, what am I going to do with myself? What am I going to do with my life? Like, I'm not one to just stay home and do nothing. I need to keep moving. I need to feel like I'm worth something. I need to be myself. And, slowly after being home for like 8 years, you kind of lose yourself in there. And so I just needed something to gain back my freedom and find out who I am again, because staying at home for whatever 7 years was, it's long.
Yes. So just by the encouragement of a friend, I mean, you didn't have any other family members or anything like that influenced you to do that?
No. And then I thought about it. I was like, well, I have my license in massage and aesthetics. Like I could do that. I was going to go back to that. But then I thought about him, like because I still have to, take care of the kids, pick them up from school, all of that. I was like, I'm not going to be able to make money because my hours are going to be when everybody's in work. Because once school is done, I have to go and, do kid stuff. So I was like, that's not going to work. And it's going to take me years to build up a solid clientele. And in this day, there's so much competition for that type of things now.
Right.
So
you thought there would be less competition in real estate?
No, it's because I had no idea what I was doing. Like, let's just try something new. And I was like, I need to do something. And when I looked at real estate, all I looked at it was, I know it can be flexible. I know you can work as hard as you want or work as little as you want. I knew that. So I was like, this is something where I don't have a boss to check into. Like, I needed to be able to be available like 24/7 in case of anything. Like, I can't do a 9 to 5 because I'd be fired. And with Aaron's schedule changing like all the time, like I needed to be the one that was available all the time. So I would have been fired if I worked a 9 to 5. And, I still wanted to be there for my kids also. I didn't want to shuffle them off to someone else, because that's, in my eyes, that's not their responsibility. So I wanted to still be there, but still find my way and find something that I could do to, I don't know, have fun and make money, I guess. Like just trying it out, and seem to enjoy it.
So how was that? So you get licensed and you start. Did it meet your expectations, or what was that first initial time frame like?
So once I made up my mind that I was gonna do it, like I will do it. Like I was committed. So I think it was in February of 2018 that both kids are in school already, and I was just kind of, I maybe took a couple months off to just do nothing while they're in school, like just cruise. And then in February, I signed up to do the online courses, because the in-person, as much as I would want to have done the in-person, it didn't fit my schedule, because I couldn't be gone for 4 weeks, not 4 weeks, but for 4 weekends, Saturday and Sunday, just all day. Like it didn't fit into my schedule because of the kids, and I didn't want to have to put the burden on anyone else. So I did online because it fit my situation. And I think I pumped that thing out, like committed in February, and I was done with all of it in 3 months. But I used, when the kids were at school, that's all I did. Like I just sat at my table and I just blazed through it, even though I didn't understand half the stuff I was reading. But towards the end, it made sense. So it all connected. And then what else? Oh, in the beginning, I didn't know you could order a book. So I'm over here legit online writing things word for word. Taking so I probably could have been faster if I actually had a book in the beginning, but I didn't. And then I finally was like, oh my gosh, I can order a book. So once I got that book, it was just like highlight, and just I could reference. And when I took the test at the end, like I had all the references instead of trying to rewrite everything that's online in this book, which was made me memorize a lot more, but that wasn't time efficient. So
So you get done with that. Do you pass on the first time? We hear a lot of stories about people taking several tries.
so when I was finished with the schooling past that part, the next test that was available in Honokaa was not for another 2 months. And I was like, oh, heck no, I'm not studying to keep it all fresh for another 2 months. So I was like, all right, let's see what Oahu has. Oahu has it more frequently, and it was a family trip. We all went. Like the kids, mom, dad, Aaron, we all went to go and support me because the kids were still young.
Yep.
So, and I don't want to leave them, for a weekend. I just, so we all went. Took the test, failed both of them, but I was extremely surprised because since I taught myself, I was like, wow, you did pretty good for teaching yourself. And I remember I got 10 wrong on the states. I missed it by 10, I was like, okay, that's fine because I didn't study that one as hard as I did the nationals. I missed by 5, so I was like, okay, not horrible. I think
Close.
I'm understanding it, getting it. And then so whatever, didn't pass. Come back home, and I'm like, hey, well, when's the next one? Booked. Oahu was kind of, I can't remember. I think it was Maui that came first. So I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks later. I ended up going to Maui. Came home, booked another test because I'm like, I need to like just bang this out and be done. I don't want to keep taking tests. I don't want to keep studying. Like I need this to be done. So I booked Maui. This time, the 2 girls and my mom go. So it's just us. Well, and my dad, I think, went. Or I can't remember if my dad went, but I know it was the 2 kids and my mom. We went to Maui to take this test. Passed my state. No, not my state. Sorry, passed my nationals. That
Okay.
one, and I missed the state by 1. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But it is what it is. So I was like, okay, well, at least got 1 down. Just need to pass 1 more. Come back home, set up another test, and this one is in Maui again. I'm like, okay, nobody's coming with me. I call up one of my girlfriends lives in Maui, and my other friend who's a realtor on the island. I called her. I'm like, you know what? I need you guys' support. Like, come with me to Maui. And then my other friend that was living there. So we just did like kind of like a girls' night or weekend. Took my test and I passed. And I passed July 31st, which would have been my first test here if I waited to take in Honokaa.
Okay. So you had to take the initiative and travel, and yeah, I mean, this story is very common where you got to have the perseverance, right? That you get the challenge is there, and you just got to persevere. So okay, so you pass, and then now what? Do you interview brokerages? Like, how do you choose what to do next? Because that's one thing that this is another piece of the process that sometimes people from the outside looking in don't understand. There's so many different pieces, and now you have another decision point to make.
Yep. So still, again, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it because I need to do something and something new, and somebody told me to do it, so I did it, and I thought it was a good idea. So this friend was a broker at a company, or another brokerage. So I just went directly to where she was at because I knew her and I felt comfortable. Didn't interview any other brokers. Still had no clue what I was doing. So I went there, and I think I was there because by the time everything, you get your license and everything from the DCCA, I think I signed on maybe September-ish.
Okay.
I was with them, and then I believe it was, and I felt like I don't know if I really fit in there or not, but I just went there and was just like, okay, I felt lost, but I think everybody feels lost.
It was, yeah, you don't know what you don't know. It's easier to go where it's just going to be comfortable, right? Or it seems comfortable or familiar. So,
yeah.
Yep.
And then,
okay, so how long were you there for?
I believe I was there till January of 2019. So I was only there for like 6 months, maybe 5 or 6 months.
Okay. And I know we met briefly somewhere in the middle of that time frame, right? Maybe the end of
I think
18 or something like that.
we met so Lailan, she called me and she, was telling me all about, EXP and this. And so I was like, okay, I'll go. Still have no clue what's going on. I was scared because I was like, oh, what am I doing? So I took her lead because she was somebody that I looked up to, went to the meeting and met you, Andrew. Misty was there, which I kind of knew her. Raquel was there, which I kind of knew her. And Lailan. It was us five.
Yep.
Five of us? Yeah, it was us five. We sat in the small room around the
Yep.
table.
Yep.
You explained the whole plan or, EXP and everything. And, I'm still new and I still have no idea what's going on. And I was just like, wow, that's really good. But I really liked all of you guys because we were all from, you guys are like, we're all from here. So there was a connection already. And then I left and then I sat on it for a month because I didn't know what to do. Because I was scared. I was like, I don't know. But, and then
in the meantime, did you do any business during this time?
No, I was like going to the other brokerages, like training and stuff and trying to figure it out. But I wasn't really going anywhere because I felt by myself. I had no idea what I was doing, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
you sit on it for a month and then what makes you pull the trigger?
I was like, well, I have nothing to lose. I have nothing going on here. Like, no transactions. And it's the easiest time to leave is when you have nothing going on. So I just went with it. I just made the decision, you know what, let me go where these guys are going and just kind of blindly went, I guess.
Yeah, so it was again like a feel right situation, right? It wasn't about like economics or a plan or a specific thing. It was more like it seemed like it felt right.
Yes.
Okay, so you make the decision, you make the switch, and then what does it look like at that point? Like, what is your first year like at EXP? And did you even understand the EXP like business model, or was that not really that important? It was more the people that drew you.
Yeah, I understood some of it, but it was more of the people and like the team aspect because I'm a team player, so I like that.
Yeah.
And I felt comfortable. Like I felt like I could be myself. I felt like I could be Wendi and just not have to like just feel like, oh my gosh, am I irritating somebody? Or I felt so at home where I could just be me.
Yeah. And then did that turn out to be true?
Oh, very much true.
Okay. Was your instinct correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you get here and to me, I mean, you keep talking about I didn't know, I wasn't sure what to do, but like you definitely got here and just took off, hit the ground running, and in my opinion had a really awesome first year, right?
Yes. So first year was super good. I don't know, things just happen for a reason. But it was good. It was more than I ever thought or expected would have happened.
I remember you saying stuff about like you just felt like you had the confidence to talk to people and do something because you had support. Yes. So it made looking for business or talking about business or talking to clients just easier, right? Because you didn't feel like, oh my goodness, I don't know who to ask. If they ask me a question, I don't know. Yes, I had the answers were you guys. Because I know I didn't know, but I knew you guys knew. Well, sometimes, not all the time. No. Yeah. Okay, so what was that first year like? Do you remember how many transactions you did? I'm pretty sure you capped that first year, right? No, I was close. I don't remember what I had, but I was close. I don't remember what it was. But I was whatever it was good. I mean, it was by far better than most brand new agents do. And where did a lot of that business come from? Was that friends and family? Was it your sphere of influence? I mean, what did you attribute that to? Friends and family and the sphere of influence. Okay. So that helps just, from being here and trying to put myself out there, even though I didn't know everything. Mm-hmm. I just tried because I knew I had the support. Like I knew I had you guys, like whatever mess I got myself into or whatever, like I knew you guys had the answers.
and just learn on the way. But at the same time, I didn't say I had the answers either. I didn't, make up answers. I just like, I know people who do have the answers, so I'll ask them. But I never lied
When you
about
and you
anything.
and you never will, right? That's one thing
Yeah.
that if you wait till you have all the answers, everything, you're never going to get started, right? I mean, that's true of even after years of doing this and hundreds of transactions. Like, you still run into situations in this business where you're like, wow, never saw that before, and then you call somebody else that's smart and try and see if they got some advice for you. So yeah, you just
And
got to get over that.
in the beginning, that's like your best excuse. Like, I'm just started. I don't know the answer. Let me go find out. Like, you can say that for a while.
Yes.
And then once you do know, then of course you're going to say the answer because you've asked it 10,000 times. So you know it's the correct answer at that point.
And you shouldn't be afraid to do that because people respect that, right?
Mhm.
Like, they'd rather you tell them, let me find out, than lie to them and make something up, right?
Correct.
So okay, so year one's good, learn a lot, do a lot, and then of course COVID happens, right? 2020. And what'd you do during that?
So during COVID, I mean, that was like a horrible year for me in real estate, which is fine because it was only like I'm only on to year 2 and we have this whole pandemic going on. I invested a lot in online courses and video courses because I wanted to use that time because we were stuck at home to do something. Like, I wanted to still grow even though we weren't allowed to be out and about. So I did a lot of um, courses on how to do videos and
This is a
motivation stuff.
this is an extremely valuable point. I think people take for granted or miss sometimes in this whole business is that when people are not busy or they don't have that much to do, they just take the day off, right? They go to the beach, they do something else. But like, you guys, you always hear me preach about, like, when you're not busy, that's the time to reinvest in you, learn something new, gain a new skill, gain a new strategy. Like, if you do that, that'll in turn create more business in the future. But if you just take the day off, there's not going to be any growth or development from that, right? So that, I think that was a smart thing because a lot of people did, right? The state shut down. There wasn't nothing going on in the first 6 months of 2020, pretty much.
Yep. So I just grew. I mean, it helped a lot. And I always look at it as just always planting seeds. And of course, it's an investment in yourself. Yes, some of the courses were expensive, which is hard for people to do, especially when we're in a pandemic and like, hello, we're commission based, not making money. But I just did it anyway because I needed to. Oh, and I wanted to. I wanted to learn. I wanted to better myself because I'm in this career for the long haul and not just to make money and be done. Like, I want this to be longevity for years.
So I don't remember the exact month or what, but I remember you coming in one day and saying, okay, I'm over it. I'm going back to work. I'm going to start hitting it hard again. And you did, right? Kind of getting into year 3. Do you remember when that was? Do you remember that conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it was because I was so sick of staying home already, and I've had all of this knowledge and things that I wanted to, I needed to. You can take all the courses you want, but if you don't put it into action, then you're still in the same spot. So I think I just wanted to get, and the biggest thing is getting over yourself. I needed to get over myself, get over my fear, and just freaking do it. Like, nobody's gonna market yourself better than yourself. And I wanted to stay true to myself because I tried all types of things. You know me, like, I tried Facebook ads, people to help me do it, like spend, all this kind of money. And, I tried a lot of different things and just things weren't clicking. And the final result was just me doing it myself, taking the time to make these reels, these videos. And it's exactly what I wanted because it's me, not somebody else running it for me. But, just having, yes, it's genuine. And, not everyone's going to like you, which is fine because I don't like everyone. And that's normal.
So let's talk about that and the results. So you make a commitment to commit to social media. And that's one of the things that also, we look around and people look at this business, and there's a million different ways to be successful in this business, right? And it's kind of like you got to pick one, right? You cannot be like a jack of all trades. You specialize, you pick what works for you, what you're comfortable with. And so you decide, okay, I'm going to, and primarily Instagram, right? It's kind of the platform that you committed to. So what does that look like? What did you start doing?
So it was the beginning of, this I believe when we went to your goal meetings, because you have those meetings at the end of the year to get us ready for, it was getting us ready for 2021. So I committed to myself too that, just you're going to need to be, because it's my only marketing that I do. And I wanted to just stick to the organic content creation on Instagram, and to show up, to be vulnerable, whatever, to make videos that, just all of it. Like I wanted to commit to do it and just keep showing up no matter what, even if it's not posting, but on the stories. And I committed myself to just show up consistently. And again, it's just all the work we do this year, planting the seeds, they'll come back some other time.
Yep. So how has 2021 been so far?
Most sales and money I've ever made in my life.
So you set a goal, you committed to it, you took action, and the results just come, right? There's no secret sauce.
Yep. And a lot of I'm still in my sphere, and I think a lot of it, while everybody was at home in 2020 and kind of 2021, like, still uncertainty, just showing up all the time and people being like, oh, Wendi does real estate. So a lot of people that I was kind of like more acquaintances with, not really friends, those are the people who ended up buying homes because they've been watching my videos and know that I'm committed and that I'm in it. And so a lot of those people, like I said, I went to high school with them, like classmates that I wasn't best of friends with, but they all remembered me because through social media.
You weren't a secret agent, right? You simply
Correct.
just told people that you were out there and you could help them.
Correct. Even if I look, like a crazy person, like, people are like, I could never do videos like that. It's like, that's fine. You don't have to. Like, it's my personality and I like it. And that's the thing. You got to find what works for you, like what you're good at. And you have to enjoy it. Like, I do enjoy making the videos. Yes, it is scary. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it takes planning. But that's how else are you going to do it?
And you end up attracting the right type of clientele, right? Somebody who doesn't like that and thinks it's silly, like they're not going to call you, and maybe you don't want to work with that person anyway, right? But the people who do value it, that do think that it's good, they're going to call you or they're going to message you, and that's the client that you want, right?
Yep. You're attracting your ideal client or like-minded personality wise. And that's great because I want to work with, I want to work with people that want to work with me. I don't want to work with people who don't want to work with me because that's just a nightmare. So yeah, and that, for the most part, everyone's been pretty nice.
That's a great attitude, right? Is like people kind of, when you have an attitude of desperation and I need to get any client that'll possibly work with me, or you come with an attitude of, I want to work with my ideal client that I'm going to have a good time with, that's going to make me happy, that, it's going to be a smooth transaction. It's funny how that works out, right? It just works out. But if that's your mindset, it definitely, you attract the similar energy, right?
Yes. They're grateful, they're thankful, they're kind, which is, I feel like everything I am. So it makes life so much easier. Like, I don't want to do anything to be stressed all the time.
And you also do a great job of being explicit about who you want to help, right? Like, you want to help first-time home buyers, you want to help first responders, and you get a lot of those people reaching out, right?
Correct. Yes. And I have to, give it to Aaron too, because he does tell his coworkers, my wife is a realtor, whatever he says. So, I do have a little in with helping at least the police officers, and, they trust him, and, I know most of them too. So and again, it's all just comes back to building relationships.
And it seems like common sense, but it's just another point that's lost in this sometimes, where, that's your natural place to go, right? You have all these connections. Your husband has all of these friends that trust him, that he works with. Obviously, those are people that you should be reaching out to and helping and working for. But there's so many people who just miss that, right? And they're part of some club, or they're into this thing or whatever, and then they don't tell anybody, or they don't spread the word, and then they wonder why they don't have any business, right? So it's, again, like, seems like common sense, but it's not that common. A lot of people miss that.
And just trying to stay top of mind. Like, there's a word for it. I don't know the word, but it's just where you just pop up everywhere. Like, wherever you look on social media or something, like, there you are, and your people aren't going to forget you. And even if they're not the ones that need to buy a home, they probably know somebody who might be. So it's just, again, like just networking, referrals.
And
It's
someday they
endless.
will need to, right? In the next
Yes.
10 years, everybody's gonna, most people are gonna transact in real estate every 10 years. So
Yep.
cool, very interesting stuff. So if somebody's watching this and they're thinking about getting into real estate, or they're thinking about making a move to maximize their potential, like what kind of advice would you have for them?
Commit to yourself first. Because if you're not committed, I mean, if you're not committed to anything, nothing's going to happen. Just commit to yourself first. Go all in, not half in, side in. Just go full all in. Just go all
Yep.
in. Find your, once you pass your test, find people that you want to be around. Find like-minded people. Find people who you can be yourself, and be ready to work, because real estate's not easy. Be ready.
I think that's a great takeaway. And I'm a big believer in that if I'm in the right environment with the right people, I feel like that's way more important than being somewhere that has a lot of resources, or maybe the right brand, or there's all these. You can choose where you are based on a lot of different factors, and depending on what your priority is, I always felt like being around the right people, in the right culture, and the right environment is way more important than all the rest of the stuff, right? The rest of the stuff, it is what it is. But if you're not happy and you're not motivated by those around you, the rest of that stuff's not going to help you, right?
Exactly. It's not going to matter. And like I always say, if it's not even about EXP, like EXP is a great brokerage. They have all these benefits, but we could be, as long as I have you guys, we could be anywhere. It's more of the team and not the brokerage. Because even if we were at Keller Williams or Coldwell, but if you guys were the team, I'm going with the team, because I'm a team player, like I said, and I need that support. I like it. I like to motivate. I like to be motivated.
And share.
And I don't want to be by myself, because that's not fun. Like, I want to have, and honestly, like if I was somewhere else and if I just felt like it was dog eat dog and just tired, and because I know probably people are out there in brokerages, but like this is like, you can chill, be yourself, but you can still do great at it also, even without all the extra fluff or whatever they tell you that they're going to offer you. It's just, you got to find your people that motivate you, and you can feel comfortable and be yourself, because there's no sense in being fake, because there's enough fakeness out there. So just be yourself.
I love it. That's a great golden nugget at the end of many, many good points.
We don't all need to be luxury agents.
Yeah, you got to find your thing, right?
Find your thing.
Yeah. All right, that was awesome. Any closing thoughts? That's a great place to end.
Nope. Just, of course, thank you guys for.
How can they find you on social media, or if they want to reach out?
What is? Oh, Wendi_Tomota_.
On Instagram, check it out. Awesome reels and inspiration if you need it. Thanks, Wendi, for taking the time.
Oh, thanks, Dylan.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Okay. Bye.
Have a good day.